Good morning and welcome to the Oasis Center for Spiritual Living, where we come together as one, providing spiritual tools for daily living. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Reverend Tucker. I'm the senior minister here at the Oasis, and I have this wonderful team that supports me every Sunday. Let's see, my assistant Faith, there she is, and the practitioner of the day and supporting me on the pulpit is the wise and powerful Oz. So this is my team. We do music for Reverend Fairy Elaine Silver. She just got her Reverend in front of her name, so I've got to remember to say that every time. And Karen Drucker songs. So we want to shout out to them and introduce them. So anyway, our topic today is living your best life. And I think you're going to enjoy what I have prepared for you. And I think you're going to love the songs that Faith is singing for you. We are waiting Tina coming back from her eye surgeries. And we can't wait for her to come back to us. Because I know Faith is she's working full time. She's going to school full time. And she's preparing music and doing everything else that I asked her to do. So she's really got a lot of stuff to do. So we can't wait till Tina comes back. I want to remind you to say hello or hi if you're here. Good morning is a good one. Hi, Joey. That way we know who's here with us because we have no way of seeing it otherwise. If you would like to start a watch party and watch this with your friends and be able to comment back and forth, there is a little watch party button, and that way you can enjoy the service with your friends. Let's see. That's it. So close your eyes if that feels comfortable. Allow the service to uplift and inspire you as we move into our centering song.
Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can feel the rush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can feel the rush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place.
For some reason, you're black over here. Just a black screen. Are you there, Oz? Oh, he dropped out. So surely the presence of God is in this very space, in this space in time and internet and communication and life. For God is simply all there is, all there ever has been, all there ever will be, only God. And so in this moment, I am knowing that that is the truth about me. My very essence, my very life, my very being, it is who and what I am. And every thought, every action, every deed is guided and led by that one infinite presence of God that lives within me. I know this same truth to be so for every member of God's team, for Faith, for Oz, for Lynn, for Tina, for we are one team in God. And everything that we say, think, or do is guided and led by that infinite presence within us to uplift and inspire all who are here. I do know that every person who is watching right now or later on is one in that power of God as well. Because I do know that there is no place where one person leaves off and the other begins. All is one. Perfectly, absolutely one. So I bless the service. I know that all who are here are uplifted and inspired by God's message today. How it comes through in the music or in the words, however it comes through, it is a blessing and we are blessed by it. So my heart fills with gratitude to know that this is so, to be of service in this way, and I just let it be. And so it is. Amen. Oz is back. Hi, Oz. All right, so this next song, well, first of all, let me remind you, if you're here, say hello, hi. We are so blessed to have you. There's 1,000 things you could be doing on a Sunday morning, and we're glad you're here with us. Say hello, say hi. If you like something that you hear, you can give us the thumbs up. If you love something that you hear, whether that's the music or me or anybody, then send us hearts. We love having love. And then if something strikes you really powerfully, you always have the wow button. So in the meantime, let's sing it loud, sing it proud if you know these words to We Are All One. Fairy Elaine Silver's We Are All One that we play every week.
We are all one. We are all one. We are all one in it. I hear it and know it, my being. Spirit is all I am seeing. For God is all there is. Grateful am I to be living, open to what I receive, honoring what I've been given, sharing now what I believe. I remember the oneness around me. I surrender to infinite light, knowing the love that's surrounding me is within me by day and night. And we are all one. We are all one. We are all one in it. Yes, we are all one. We are all one. We are all one in it.
Okay, let's see here. I'm in. Glad you are enjoying this. Okay. Trying to answer some people here. Okay. So again, if you like something you hear, let's do the thumbs up. If you love something you hear, send us hearts because we love. And if something really powerful hits you powerfully, whether that's song or something I say, let's just do the wow button because wow is a great thing. We always love it. Unfortunately, we can't clap, or we can clap, but she doesn't hear you. So I'd like to introduce Faith Rollins, my lovely assistant. She's going to be doing a song from Karen Drucker, The Face of God.
You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are my family. You are the face of God. You are the face of love. I hold you in my heart. You are my family. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. 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 Great.
Let's see if we can get, there we go. Beautiful job. Beautiful job. You gonna clap? Oz? Come on now. Oh goodness. You know, it's funny. I was watching the video on YouTube today, and it's really a shame that Facebook and YouTube and all of that would cut us out if we used the video from her, because she has all these people from all these nations coming on. And you know how we were talking about what language that was behind there? I think it's all different languages. I think I heard French, I heard Italian, I heard some Japanese, and in the video, she's showing all of that, you know? So I think that's pretty cool. I wish we could have played the video, but you know, I don't want them to cut us off like they did that one time. So beautiful job. Thank you so much, Faye.
Thank you.
All right. So, well, let's talk a little bit about the face of God first. We are all made in the image and likeness of God. And that doesn't mean that we are white men with white beards and long white hair in white robes. Okay? That is the image that most of us have been given as children for what God looks like. What that means is that we're made of the stuff of God, that even science backs that up, quantum physics says that everything is made of the same substance, that the way the molecules bump together is what creates something solid or something more liquid. And so when we think about that, we think about the face of God being everywhere. It is, black people, white people, yellow people, red people, purple people, blue people. It is just, that is the face of God. And we have to remember that we have made God in the image and likeness of ourselves in most of our religions, because we want to be able to relate to something, and we need somehow God to be more personable, more of a person. But the truth is, it's a divine intelligence. It is not a person. It is not a male or a female. It is male and female. Some of our churches say, Mother, Father, God. But we're still then talking about a person that has a personality and has choices and has preferences. What is very comforting to me is that the God we believe in our philosophy has no preferences, that everybody is perfect in the sight of God. And it doesn't matter, what your sexual orientation is. It doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter whether you're male or female. It doesn't matter, that God loves us equally all the time, the same way. And that's what, for me, is so comforting. I grew up in the Jewish faith, thinking that women were unholy. And, well, I didn't think it, but they did. They were teaching us that women were unholy. And I just couldn't grasp that as a little girl. I couldn't get my mind around it. And I pretty much eschewed all religion because of it. Because I couldn't believe in a God that would say, yeah, you're no good, but you're okay. And when I found religious science, I had been through a process in California. I moved to California to go to college. And I had been through a process in California where I explored Buddhism, and I explored Hinduism, and I explored Taoism. And I really kind of, was more centered on Eastern religions because of the idea that there wasn't a preference, that God didn't look like a person who could choose one over the other. But I found that those practices were just not practical for me. I had a hard time with those practices. I love that some people can do that, but I can't. And so when I found religious science, I was like, oh my God, there's people that believe what I believe. It was so exciting to understand that, that we are all made of God equally, and that we are perfect from the day we're born. We are perfect already. I love these concepts because that made me believe that a God could exist that loves everybody the same. And that felt good to my heart, and it continues to feel good to my heart. As I talk about it, as I spread our message to the world, I want people to know that God doesn't see us as imperfect beings. God sees us as perfect. And when we recognize that God is in and through everything, absolutely everything, then the face of God is on the little baby. The face of God is in a dog. The face of God is in every adult human being, regardless of race, color, creed, sexual orientation. The face of God is everywhere we look. I see the face of God in the trees. I see the face of God in the breezes that cool us off. I see the face of God everywhere I look. And because of that, I am open to infinite possibilities in my life. Because I do know that God will show up. Even, politicians, I'm not going to talk politics. I'm just saying we have to really look at the politicians and see the face of God. Because if we can reveal the truth of God in every situation, then our life is enriched by that perception. The more we look at anyone or anything as negative, the more we draw negativity to ourselves, the more our life doesn't work. So today I want to talk about living your best life. Your best life, it could be anything. Everybody has their own version of what the best life looks like. Okay. My best life, as I see it, is to be in the presence of God, or to acknowledge that I am in the presence of God 100%, 24/7. That's the idea of my best life. Do I make it 100% of the time? No. But if I strive for it 100% of the time, I am living my best life because I am moving toward that perception of God as all there is. What is your best life? What do you perceive to be your best life? Perhaps you're an artist who creates these beautiful paintings or music or sculptures. Excuse me. That would be your best life, is sitting and doing your art. Perhaps you are someone who is in service to humanity, whichever way that looks. You know, we have people who build houses for people, for poor people. We have people who do all kinds of things that service humanity, and that's them living their best life. I look at Jimmy and Rosalind Carter as a perfect example. They're in their 90s. And, you know, he's actually suffered, he had cancer, and, you know, he's fallen off a ladder, you know, and that man is like the ever ready bunny, you know, he just keeps going. And when I look at that, I think, you know, of my limitations, I look at my limitations and I think those are nothing compared to what he's been through. And he and Rosalind go out there and they build houses for Homes for Humanity or whatever it's called. And I just, you know, I can't get over that. Being in your 90s and being able to function and live your best life, even in your 90s. We're open to the infinite possibilities that exist. I don't know how many of you remember a movie called What the Bleep Do We Know? Marlee Matlin starred in this. And it's really interesting because in one of the scenes, it was perfect. She was watching this kid bounce a basketball. And when she turned away, all these basketballs came flying out of everywhere. There was just millions of them. And then she turned back and all she saw was the one ball bouncing. And then she turned away again and all the possibilities showed up. And that's really what we do. We limit ourselves to our limited perception of what's possible. God sees all possibilities. There is an infinite number of possibilities for our life, for any part of life. And if we are willing to accept that and we are willing to strive for that, to know that there are infinite possibilities for us in our life, then we will be living our best life because we won't be limiting ourselves to only the version of ourselves that other people tell us we have, or tell us that we can have, or tell us that we should have. We are living our best life when we acknowledge that all of the possibilities of God are present in every moment. See, everything is possible with God. There is no such thing as an impossibility with God. And really what it is we open ourselves to those possibilities. When we acknowledge that God is simply all there is and all there ever has been and all there ever will be and all there is in this moment right here, right now, we open ourselves to all of those possibilities that enable us to live our best life. So I ask you again, what is your best life? What do you see it as? Now, we all have a male and a female aspect to ourselves. I love the Hindu faith in a lot of ways because they can address any issue with a god. They have a god, for instance, Aj, might help me here with it. Who is the god that is the elephant that has a mouse at its feet that reminds us not to be...
that would be Ganesh.
Ganesh, thank you. Ganesh teaches us that we shouldn't be bothered by these little inconsequential things that come up and we turn them into big things, you know. And so Ganesh reminds us to do that, to disregard those little mice at our feet and know that that we are stronger, that we are bigger, we are more powerful than that little inconsequential mouse. But I love the Hindu faith because of that, because whatever your issue is, they have a god for it. And they have a god, so the statues that you see in people's homes are reminders of a spiritual principle that you want to strive for. And so I personally can't get into all the gods, but I have a couple of statues. I have Ganesh and I have I have a lot of them. But they remind me that I need to look at my stuff. They remind me that it is best if I can let go of the issues of this life, the conditions of this life, and focus my attention more purely on the possibilities that live within God. Because nothing in this life really has any power over us. Think about it this way. In religious science, we do not believe that there is a power for good and a power for evil. And the reason we say that is because if they were equal, then they would cancel each other out. And by looking at the goodness of all of life, how perfect life really is, how Mother Nature functions in this world, we know that there has to be a power for good that is more powerful than anything. We know that there is nothing that can be against us. If God is for us, who can be against us? There isn't anything that could rise up against us. When we are in the power of God, when we know our power, when we are focused on that presence that lives within us, that breathes itself through us, that lives itself through us, that channels love through us. I like to think of it as a funnel that comes down from your head, and God's love comes down in, and then we focus it out as another funnel. I like to think of it that way, that God loves through us, lives through us, breathes through us. Our very breath is proof that there is something in this universe that is a divine intelligence that moves the human body. I mean, think about the human body just for a minute. We are miracles. Just in our existence. You think about what it takes to make the heart beat, or make the breath work, or, how we heal ourselves. We are absolute miracles of God, and we were designed to function no matter what. That's what's really cool about it. And so it's not like something can come in and say, oh, I'm shutting you down, like a robot. You can't, we exist whether this physical body is working or not, but this physical body is a miracle of God. And, no matter how much science looks into the body, they really don't have any answers for exactly why something works. Like aspirin is a perfect example. They really don't know why aspirin works. They just know it does. When you look at helicopters, they seem physically improbable, and yet they work. There is a lot of miracles in God that we take as everyday, it's just part of everyday life. When you celebrate that everywhere you look, you see the face of God in operation, in the helicopter, in the aspirin, in the way our bodies work, in the way animals' bodies work, which is totally different from ours, and yet a miracle. When you look at how Mother Nature works, how it knows, like the plants know when it's time to turn off. It's so amazing. When you really think about it, it's like they know when to grow. They know when to turn off. They know, how to get light. They know how to get water. It's amazing when you think about our world and how perfect God's place in it is. And because we have this male and female aspect, the male aspect being that which is proactive, which is more of a protection, more of a not aggressive, but assertive energy. And the female aspect, which is more receptive and nurturing. When you think about that, as we have both of those aspects within us, then we realize that just because I'm a woman doesn't mean that I don't have those male aspects within me. I can be as fierce as any man ever thought of being, and probably more so because of my human emotions. But we can function for each other. In other words, like if, for example, a mother dies, the father becomes the nurturer, and the father raises those children as mother and father. We can fill in for each other because we have both sides of that. And so when we talk about the face of God and the gifts of the goddess, which is the next song that's going to be coming up, when we talk about that, we're not celebrating that there's a god and a goddess. Please understand. What we're saying is that there is male and female energy inside of every being, whether that be animal or vegetable or mineral or human, or, even this desk. It's funny to think about this desk as masculine or feminine. But when you think about it, if everything is made of the same stuff, then it has to have within it all of the same stuff that God is. And God is male and God is female. God is everything, all there is. And because of that, we celebrate our femininity, we celebrate our masculinity, we celebrate who we are, and how we live our best life is by acknowledging that. In the Native American tradition, hang on a minute. I still have this little cough, so I'm trying to get it before it gets me. In the Native American tradition, we really do talk about the masculine and feminine energy of all people. And it's really amazing to me. We studied, Lynn and I studied under, we studied the Red Path under somebody for 12 years. And as we studied that path, we've gained a recognition of how the masculine and feminine energies of this world are so important to the individual, to embrace those things that make us who we are. I mean, everything that I have been through in my life, and I've been through some traumatic stuff, has led me to the place of who I am today. Now, I could sit back and say, oh, bother, look what happened to me. I could do that, but then I wouldn't be living my best life. I wouldn't be celebrating that God within me has prevailed over all of that, that there was something in me that knew that I could prevail against all of those things. And I think that's the energy that people have, when they're in the midst of the trauma and they say to themselves, it's going to be okay. That's the God energy in us communicating to us that we are going to be okay, that this too shall pass. Remember that from the Bible? This too shall pass. It's very important for us to remember that no matter what we're talking about, no matter what is going on in the world, all of this politics, all the writing and all that awful stuff that's going on, in all of that, we can celebrate that this too shall pass, and God within us is going to carry us through to a better life, to live our best life, the life we're meant to live. And we, you have to kind of keep in touch with what's going on in the world. But I find myself more and more not wanting to tune into the news, because I don't want to be reminded of all that stuff. I would rather be reminded of the good stuff, the life, the beingness of God, the peace and the power within me. That is what's going to carry us through. The more people focus on the life and the loving and the peace and the harmony and the beingness of God, the more of that kind of stuff seems to just disappear back into the nothingness from which it came, because it was superimposed on our lives. It was superimposed on the life of God that we are. And we can claim our power back by accepting that God is more powerful than any of that. That the peace of God is more powerful than any rioting or whatever else is going on. That the love of God trumps hate. And I don't mean that as a pun, honestly. that the beingness of God is that which is going to overcome it all. Reverend Al, what's his name, has this book called Rise Up. And he talks about how if you feel drawn to do something, you should do it. Let that power within you rise up. That's not his words. That's my interpretation of what he's saying. Let that power within you rise up and be proactive. Use that masculine energy to fill up and move forward and be proactive. And as I read that book, I started thinking about all of the ways that in our society, how we have been proactive in whatever area that was, whatever arena that was, how we've utilized that masculine energy to go out and do something. We utilize the feminine energy through our care, through the things that we care about. So even though the proactive part of us that is masculine is rising up and doing something proactive. It is fueled by that feminine energy within us that cares, that sees a problem and wants to address it in a nurturing way, in a way that fulfills the life of everybody. And so I ask you again, what is your best life? What would you like to see happen in your life? Take some time this week and really think about what is your best life and how do you get there? What is it that you have always longed in your heart to do and have never had the courage to do it? Summon up that masculine energy to allow you to move forward and do that. Summon up that power and presence of God that carries you through all of the fear and all of the I'm not worthiness, and that carries you through all of it to be able to accomplish that which you have been aching to do. Because that God within you is the one that is urging you forward. That God in you is the one that is empowering you to actually do something. Take a moment this week. Think about that. Think about what is your best life. How do you live your best life? And what do you need to do to move that forward? Let's have a prayer. I now move into the awareness of God as all there is. No matter where I look, no matter what I experience, it is all God. Perfect and complete, just as it is. I look at the way the plants and the trees signal the coming of all seasons to us. The way they naturally do whatever it is they do, turning leaves and going underground and becoming dormant. I experience God there as much as I experience God in going to the grocery store and recognizing that the face of God is delivering my groceries into my car. When I go to anywhere, the post office, any of those places, I recognize that the face of God is what is serving me in that moment. I recognize that the gifts that I have been given are that of God. For I am a representation of that one life. It is who and what I am. It fills me with love, with life, with beingness. My heart beats to the rhythm of the earth because of God's presence, because of God's heart beating within me. And every thought, every action, every deed is guided and led by that one infinite power of God that is within me, that lives within me, that loves through me. I know this same truth to be so for each member of God's team that serves this Oasis Center for Spiritual Living. Because we serve God in that infinite capacity of the oneness. For Faith, for Oz, for Tina, for Lynn, we are all one. One in God, one in life, one in purpose. I know that same truth to be so for anyone who is watching this either in real time or later on. For there is no place where one of you leaves off and the other begins. For we are all one. One power, one presence, one life, in and through all of us as one. So I bless this coming week because I know that the face of God shows up in everyday activities. That everywhere we look, we see that face of God in our friends, in our family, whether we can be with them in person or online. That the face of God shows up in the grocery stores, in the post office, in the doctor's office, everywhere present. We see the face of God and acknowledge that because we are now living our best life, full of importance, viability, possibility. Absolutely, the perfect life for us is unfolding before us in this moment. And so I claim that for every name that is in the ministry of prayer today, because I do know that that infinite power, that infinite presence of God supersedes any condition that anyone is experiencing here in this moment. I pull back the veil and I reveal the truth of the situation, that God is absolutely more powerful than that condition. I allow it to shine forth as good and very good, and I claim it for them in their name right now. I call it good and very good. And I just allow myself to fill up with gratitude for that knowingness that it is so, for being of service in this world, for being God-like in all of my actions. I give thanks that this is so, and I just let it be. And so it is. Amen. Whew. Hello. I wish I could pray 24/7, just like stay in prayer. I'd be so high. Okay, right now is our opportunity to receive your gifts, tithes, and offerings, and your opportunity to share from that which you have already made manifest in this world. Share your gratitude, and to be grateful for those things that you have already created in the mind of God, but have not yet manifest in this physical realm yet. So I invite you to go to oasiscsl.org. You should see that in the comments there. Faith has already put it in there. And when you go to that first page there, in the middle of the page is our offering affirmation that we like to say before we hand in our tithes and offerings, or before we hit that contribute now button. And I invite you, whether you're watching this in real time or you're watching it later, to say that with us right now. So again, you're going to go to oasiscsl.org and say this offering affirmation with us. This perfect gift is spirit in form, circulating and blessing all it touches. Freely I give and joyously I receive. And so it is. Amen. Hit that contribute now button as we listen to Faith do another Karen Drucker song.
These are the gifts of the goddess, love, joy, and peace. Gifts of the goddess, are you ready to receive? Oh, the gifts of the goddess, love, joy, and peace. Gifts of the goddess, are you ready to receive? Love, are you ready? Joy, are you ready? Peace, are you ready? Are you ready to receive? These are the gifts of the goddess, love, joy, and peace. Gifts of the goddess, are you ready to receive? Oh, the gifts of the goddess, love, joy, and peace. Gifts of the goddess, are you ready to receive? Love, are you ready? Are you ready? Joy, are you ready? Are you ready? Peace, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready to receive? These are the gifts of the goddess, love, joy, and peace. Gifts of the goddess, are you ready to receive? Oh, the gifts of the goddess, love, joy, and peace. Gifts of the goddess, are you ready to receive? Compassion, I'm ready. Forgiveness, I am ready. Laughter, I am ready. I am ready to receive. These are the gifts. Are you ready? I am ready. Success, are you ready? Abundance, I am ready. I am ready to receive. These are the gifts of the goddess, love, joy, and peace. Gifts of the goddess, are you ready to receive? Oh, the gifts of the goddess, love, joy, and peace. Gifts of the goddess, are you ready to receive? I am ready. I am ready. I am ready. I'm ready to receive. Yes, I am ready to receive. Oh, I am ready to receive. All the gifts, all the gifts, all the gifts, all the gifts.
Ah, is she the best assistant ever, guys? I mean, really. Talk about going. Oh, he is clapping this time. Okay, there we go. Come on, let's clap. I know I missed that about having a facility, like I missed when I'm talking to people being able to see their reactions, and I tell a joke and people laugh and I can hear it, and I know the singers miss that clapping so much. So thank you, thank you, thank you. You are the best assistant ever. I mean, honest to God, thank you. All right, so here we have, let's talk about the ministry of prayer for a minute. We have this wonderful ministry of prayer where you can ask for prayer for a specific condition, and our practitioners will happily pray on those every day for a week. We call them our God Squad because they are serving God in that capacity. And so if you would like prayer, you can put it in the comments. If you don't want it to be public, you can always message one of us and we will make sure that it goes on. We have a Facebook group page that is limited only to the prayer partners, the God Squad. So let us know if you would like prayer for something and we will take care of that. I want you to know that Oz is available. The Wise and Powerful Oz is available today for our 1 minute miracle. It is not a time for counseling. It's a time where you can share whatever circumstance you are experiencing, and he will stop, drop, and pray with you right then and there. He does that through the Facebook, God, all of a sudden it went out of my head. Voicemail, you can talk to him through that. Okay, you just voice chat him, whatever it is, voice call him. And if he doesn't answer right away, please know that he's working with someone else and try back again. Okay. And our practitioners that we have from coast to coast, our licensed practitioners, are available by appointment for a fee for spiritual guidance. You can visit our website, oasiscsl.org, and you can see about our practitioners and Tina and Oz specifically, and get to know them a little bit. And then you can video chat them. That's what it's called, video chat. You can video chat them at the appropriate time once you've arranged for payment with them. And let's see, if you would like prayer, we already said that. You can put that in the comments or message us. If you would like to participate in our prayer team, our God Squad, you don't have to be a licensed practitioner. You just have to be committed to do positive affirmative prayer every day for a week for those prayer requests, and be willing to follow through on that commitment. If you would like to join our God Squad, type yes in the comments, and we'd be happy to have you work on our prayer team with us. And if you would like to know about our events that are happening, we have a public-facing group page that is our online community. If you type more in there, Faith will get you added to the list so that you get information before the public gets it, which is, any events that we have. And let's see, we have several people that support us that we want to support. The first one is Brooks and Bailey. She does mandalas and bracelets. They're very beautiful. I have a couple of them. And everything that she does benefits the Rocky Mountain Lab Rescue. Her information is in the comments, but it's brooksandbailey0307@gmail.com to get a hold of her. And then we also have Brooks Limited. I'm wearing one of her jackets. She keeps sending me these masks, and they're really beautiful. They're done in very nice fabric, and they're very, like, I saw some of them on there that had like bows and stuff, and very fashion oriented. She has one of a kind items. So again, you're going to go to Facebook, Brooks Ltd, which is Brooks Limited, and Faith has all that in the comments. And then Elaine's music, Reverend Fairy Elaine Silver. God, it's going to take me a while to get used to that. Once we get a Reverend in front of our name, we want people to acknowledge that. And then, so it's going to take me a bit because I've known her for 20 years as just Fairy Elaine Silver. So Reverend Fairy Elaine Silver has a website. You can purchase her music. It is really good stuff. We Are All One is one of my favorites. That's why we use it every week. But she has a lot of good stuff. And she has, I don't know, like 17 albums or CDs. So you will have to email her to find out where to send the money because she's not able to update her website. Karen Drucker, on the other hand, has gifted us with her entire work, her entire collection of 20 albums with songbooks, sing-alongs, karaoke, everything we need to be able to sing her songs. And so we really appreciate that. We do like to support those who support us. So we would really appreciate it if you would go and buy some of Elaine's music. Faith, what is, was it Songbook or Songs of the Spirit 2 that this, yeah, okay. Songs of the Spirit 2 was the CD that both of the songs today were from. And actually from a lot of the songs that we've been doing lately are on that Songbook 2, which is really Songs of the Spirit 2, which is really a good CD. And you can get the sing-along version. You can buy just one song or you can buy the entire CD. Anyway, her website does work, so you can buy it directly. We encourage you to go do that. And then, of course, always check out our website, oasiscsl.org, for more information on what's going on in our world. We try to make sure that you get these live sermons as soon as possible after the service. And we have audio sermons from the past on there. I try to get as many of those up as I can so that you can dial up spiritual inspiration anytime. That's the best way to say it. This last video, this last song, I Am So Blessed, is a reminder to us. Get it stuck in your head because it's a really good one to a meme that will take you through life very well. I am so blessed.
I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
All right.
The pre-recorded songs both went out on my Wi-Fi just as I was getting ready to talk, so hopefully you're seeing me. Because even though this seems like a problem, it's meant to be. For all things are meant to be within this one being that we call God. And I take time in my day and in my week, in my comings and in my goings, to remember the presence of God right now, in me, as me, and all around me. It's all God, and it is all good. And for all of these blessings, I give great thanks, and I let it be so. And so it is.
And so it is. All right. Make sure and tune in next week and every week at 10:30 a.m. Mountain Time for our Sunday. We love you. Thank you for being here with us. Stay safe and see you next week. We love you. Bye.